How's it going today, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's time to dive into the Civic. I get to build my Civic finally. I'm going to use the learnings that I've had so far in the game. I want to make sure I have a wide body on this car, and then I want to make sure it looks cool, of course. Wide body so that I can have the wider rims, the wider tires as wide as possible without looking too silly. That's the goal. I'm not going to go extreme because I don't want it to look ridiculous. Going through the colors here, there's lots of options. Ultimately, gotta have a black Civic, right? Now, I love the combo of black and red. I wasn't so sure about the windshield. I felt like that could either be, the amber color, or maybe we'll just go black there. But I wanted to get kind of a black and red theme going, black with red trim. I think it came out pretty cool. I like the way it looks. It's cool enough, and this is V1. You might see some changes later, but we'll see. I went with a bit of a darker red, not just the bright red. I feel like it looks a little better, not as crazy. And I also went back in to paint the wing because I feel like that, why not make that red as well? And then also the wing mirrors. Here's the final car, but it's missing one thing. The final touch, it's got to have some red underglow. This is what I landed on. Let me know what you think of the car. I like it, but it's time to go build this thing performance-wise. It's time to put some of my learnings to use. I'm going to try to optimize this build a little bit more than the 240, see what I can get out of it. I'm going to focus on putting the parts that I can adjust on first, and make sure I have those so that I can make any adjustments that I want. One thing I noticed when I was building this car is that I'm very close to level 10, and at level 10 I get quite a few parts unlocked. So I'm going to wait a little bit on optimizing this car until I get those parts unlocked, because I don't want to spend any more money than I have to, because I don't have a lot of it. Where I noticed the level 10 requirement was mostly in the motor. So I'm going to put on all the suspension stuff that I can, and I'm going to play with the tires a little bit. And this can get really silly. As you can see, the tire sizes can get wild. You can put any tire size on pretty much that you want, and it can look really silly. But I'm going to downgrade my tire size, even though it probably hurts my performance a little bit, just because it's too ridiculous for me. I just want it to look a little normal and not too outlandish. Now that my suspension and tires are sorted, I'm going to put on a few performance parts because I really do need them to be a little bit competitive. I need to be able to win these races. So I'm going to put a little bit more power into the car, but still avoiding some of the more upgrades and some of the optimization that I would want to do, because I'm going to do that a little bit later. We'll get into that soon. For now, it's time to go race it with the Wild Juniors Club, and I'm very excited to see that my progress wasn't killed. I thought it would be when I swapped the car out, but looks like my progress is still there. I just needed a new car for the club. Getting into this Wild Juniors race, I noticed that my car is quite slow on the straights, although it handles very well, so I'm excited to see what it can do around these corners. I think it'll only take me a few corners to get the lead, and hopefully I can just drive away. Race completed. Collectible collected. Collectible collected. Collectible collected. I was having a bit of trouble getting to this collectible. I didn't really know how to get into that parking lot. I was driving around a little bit, didn't notice the yellow cone. Yellow cones means you can go through them. Take note. Driving around, trying to find ways to get in. I found this little hole to drive around the building and was hoping that this would lead me to the promised land, but no luck. Finally, I went to the yellow cone, went through it, and I didn't see a way to get down, but it was close enough apparently to collect the part. Collectible collected. Collectible collected. Collectible collected. Time to get back to the racing. Now I've got a 4-car race here for the first time with the Civic. Launch a little bit slow as expected. The car is underpowered. It's not great yet, but we're getting there. Have a really close race, some good close racing, and quite a nice pass at the end to take the lead as well. I was happy with it, and we drove out of there like. Sometimes you just gotta take the fence with you. Race completed. Collectible collected. Another race here, and it's against a special opponent. If you look at their cars, though, the Wild Juniors cars remind me of like a team drifting event where everyone has matching cars and they look pretty sweet. That really reminds me of what these cars look like, and the liveries are really well done. So shout out again to the developers. They're making a lot of these unique cars look super cool. Now, I was planning to drive away from this car pretty easily after the first few corners, but I took a little bit too much speed. One thing I noticed in this game is you lose a lot of grip on crests. So when you go downhill, at the start of the downhill, or if you're going uphill and it crests, you're losing a lot of grip. So you have to be very careful. You have to check up quite a lot. This race turned into a chase. I had to chase down my opponent, had to catch up to them, and had to get by them somehow. Maybe a little bit of scraping paint, but that's okay. They didn't have any effect. They didn't feel it all, so it's all good, right? And then I just drove away as usual. Race completed. Another race here. Racing against two pretty cool looking cars. I like them. But as usual, my car is a little slow in the straight, so I've got to wait for the corners to make my moves. Even with a lot of cornering exit speed, or in a lot of cornering speed in general, I have a big run coming out of the corner, but I still can't pull away much from the other opponents. So I really need to get those performance upgrades. I really need to get to level 10, make sure my car is maximized, and start smashing these new opponents, these AIs. Race completed. Another race coming at you. This time, I actually got one of the better launches I've ever gotten with this car, or with any car in general. Took the lead real quick, and that was the end of it. Race completed. I'm finally level 10, and it's time to finish this V1 Civic build. Now, I noticed that engine swaps are extremely expensive. I don't want to spend my street coins. I did end up spending a little bit. Looking back, that was an absolute mistake, but it's fine. It's fine. I could spend a little bit and learn from it. Let's go on a tear with upgrading some engine parts. Time to dip into the tuning section a little bit, and I wanted to shorten my gears because this car isn't going to go very fast, so I really don't need the up top speed. I can shorten the gears, get a little bit more out of the RPMs, and have some more power available. I found out quickly that the tuning section is a very good place to optimize your build because you can get it right up against the class limits without going over by just very minor adjustments. You can also get some really good performance out of the tuning section, stuff that you'd think would be impactful on your class, but it's not. So I can quicken my shift speed and do other things like take down my drag, change my rev limiter, and take down the drivetrain loss percentage, which they really just seem like free wins. After adjusting the gears and a few other things, I wanted to do a quick drive around the block just to see what they were like. See what they topped out at, see if they were where I wanted them to be. After the quick test, I went back to make a few more adjustments. One more fast test, trying out these adjustments, and I was happy with where they were at, so let's go racing. Checking out how far away this next race is, I've got a long drive ahead. I didn't find any collectibles, but I stopped by a styling shop just to make a couple changes. I wanted to change the headlight color, and I changed the smoke color as well, because might as well play with it. Alright, we've got our first race with the fully built V1 Civic. I'm excited to see how it drives. Now, one thing that you'll notice is my traction control keeps coming on and off. That's because I mapped it to the button on the D-pad. That's also the button to enter events. So it keeps going on and off. I'll fix that eventually. But for now, I'm just gonna try and remember to turn it off, because usually you do want traction control off, as far as I've found, especially in a front-wheel drive car. Now we see the power of the fully built Civic. Up to first place real quick, never looks back. Race completed. Now we've got another race here against one of the Wild Junior special cars. Fully built Civic though, it's just a monster. It takes off, never looks back, as usual. Race completed. This time around, we've got a race with 4 cars, and my Civic does a nice little burnout off the line. Love to see it. Of course, front-wheel drive, not going to have the strongest launch, but not too bad. Pretty good this time around, and with traction control off, it's a little faster as well, especially with full power in this Civic. And of course, get first place and take off. This thing is just a monster. It just feels so good around the corners. Now it's got a bit of power to back it up. Race completed. Collectible collected. Alright, we got another 4-car race here, and look at the wing on that MR2. I might have to get an MR2 just for the wing. We'll see, maybe that'll be a car coming up here. But I like the way the cars look, they're super cool. In this race though, we've got a long straight right off the hop, flat out for quite a while, so it's going to take me a little bit to get up to speed and get past everybody. But of course, now that I've got the fully built Civic, it's got a bit more power to back it up. It'll still take some time to get the lead, as it's more of a cornering build, but it's not too bad. I wasn't paying a lot of attention here and absolutely blew the last corner. Luckily, I had a huge lead, so it wasn't a problem, but that could have been a really painful restart. Race completed. Alright, we've got the last few races of the Wild Juniors coming up here. As you can see, racing against 3 special Wild Juniors members. The Civic, though, it's a beast. These cars are no match for it. It's really dialed at this point. We might get a V2 eventually, but for now, it is plenty to demolish these AI drivers. Race completed. Another race where I race against 3 of the special club members. This is the last race before the boss race. You know the deal, the Civic's a monster, it's dialed, it's ready to rip, it's ready to fly around these corners and never look back. Race completed. It's time for the Wild Juniors boss race. Her car looks pretty sweet, but her entrance, it's one heck of a way to enter a race.
Roxy here. You ready to race? Because I can't wait. My rules are pretty simple. Beat me, and you'll be in with the StreetNet Elite. Let's go.
You bet I'm ready to race, and you know the deal. Civic's gonna carry a whole bunch of cornering speed. Just barely dodge a traffic. That could have been real bad if I smoked that truck. But the Civic takes off. Went a little bit hot there, but recovered really well. The Civic gripped up, and away we go. Very close call there with some traffic. Managed to smoke some bushes and avoid the traffic. It could have been a lot worse. I just misjudged the distance a little bit. Got around it though, live to keep racing. That is race completed, and the Wild Juniors Club is down. Finished all the races. Roxy Foxy is in my dust. We're all ready to go to towards some more elite races and earn some money. What club do I take on next? I don't know. We'll see what happens. One thing that's awesome, though, is I won a Wild Juniors Eclipse, so I can't wait to use that somewhere. Not sure what class I'm going to build it for, but I'm very excited about it.
That was one hell of a race, love. Racing you really reminded me of the good old days back in London. Me and my mates used to party all night. Never mind about that. You won, so you're now a member of the StreetNet Elite. You've got access to my club's special races, so get ready to make some big bucks. Listen up, yeah? In Sunset City, everyone's out for themselves. Don't you forget that. I give rookies a chance to race with my club and show me what they can do, but most people in this city aren't as nice as me. So stay on your toes and keep on winning StreetNet. Maybe we'll go for a spin again sometime, but in a less formal setting. Well, that's it for now. Cheers!
I don't know what's with these club bosses, but they all seem to have some like deep emotional trauma and get very dark at points in these calls. And then at the end, go for a spin in a less formal setting. I have no idea what that means. I'm not even going to go there. But either way, that's the Wild Juniors down. Now, when I started looking for more to do, I noticed there's a leaderboard and it looks like it's a spec car. Might have to give that a go. Maybe in the next video. I also noticed some familiar names like Rapture, Dancy, and a few others. Boy, does that make me want to be competitive. I know I'm just trying to chill. This always happens when I go into new racing games is I look at the leaderboards and then I get sucked in and then I stop having as much fun because I get too competitive. So I'm going to try and maybe do some of these leaderboards, not get too crazy about it, but still have some fun. Because at the end of the day, this is just about having fun for me. So that's what I'm out to do. Plus, there are some pretty good rewards to go along with these leaderboards. So I'm going to try and rank up. I don't really know how they work, but let's see how high I can get. Let's see how far I can go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, and comment below what you thought of the Civic build, what you thought of the Wild Juniors demolishing, what do you think I should do next. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later.